Most older men have no idea they're doing this, and it's silently destroying every chance they have before the conversation even gets started. Here's what almost no one will say out loud. Younger women are genuinely drawn to older men, and not just sometimes. In many situations, it's a real and powerful pull, experience, emotional, stability, maturity, a life that's been built through actual hard work and real decisions. These things create an advantage that most younger men simply haven't earned yet. But here's the part that stings. Most older men don't know how to use that advantage. Not even close. I've watched men in their 40s, 50s, and beyond fall into the exact same traps, the same patterns, the same mistakes playing out like a script they can't stop reading from. And every time it happens, they don't just lose her interest. They lose her respect. And once respect is gone, it doesn't matter what you say next. You never even get the chance to show her who you actually are. That's what makes this so frustrating, because everything they need is already there. They're just using it the wrong way. Here's the good news. You don't need to become a different person. You don't need to fake being younger, richer, or cooler than you are. You just need to stop making these 7 mistakes. Let's get into it. Mistake number 1. Putting her on a pedestal. You meet a younger woman. She's attractive. She carries herself with confidence, maybe even a quiet intensity that catches you off guard, and almost instantly something tightens in your chest. Don't mess this up. She's probably out of your league, so you over-adjust. You become too polite, too agreeable, too measured. You filter every word before it comes out of your mouth. You agree with things you don't actually agree with. And slowly, without realizing it, the conversation becomes the most boring, forgettable exchange she's had all week. Here's the truth. Women are not attracted to men who worship them. They're attracted to men who stand on equal ground with them. The moment you place her above you, you lower yourself. And what she picks up on instantly is insecurity. Insecurity doesn't just cool attraction, it kills it. The shift you need to make is this. Stop treating her like a prize you have to earn. Talk to her naturally, the same way you'd talk to anyone, without tying your sense of worth to whether she approves. When you truly see her as just another human being, imperfect, real, ordinary, the pedestal dissolves, and confidence takes its place. You're not there to impress her. You're there to find out if there's actually a connection. That goes both ways. The moment you understand that, your power returns. Mistake number 2. Reacting poorly to the age question. So how old are you? It sounds like nothing. Just a casual question. But watch what happens to most older men when those 4 words land. The shoulders shift. The eye contact breaks for just a second. The easy, relaxed energy they had a moment ago quietly disappears. And she notices. She always notices. When you react with discomfort to your own age, you send a signal louder than any words. That your age is something worth being embarrassed about. If you treat it like a flaw, she'll start seeing it as one. Not because she would have on her own, but because you told her to. Your age is not the problem. Your relationship with your age is the problem. Own it. Say it calmly, the same way you'd say anything else about yourself. If humor is natural to you, use it, but not as a deflection, as a punctuation. Never apologize for it. Never over-explain. Never let your body betray that the question made you flinch. Confidence is what transforms age into an asset. Hesitation is what turns it into dead weight. Mistake number 3. Leading with money. A lot of older men convince themselves that their greatest advantage is financial success. So they talk about the business, the income, the car, the places they've traveled. Some even pull out the card early and spend visibly, hoping the gesture does the work for them. But here's what that actually creates. Not attraction, a transaction. The moment you lead with money, you stop being a man and start being a resource. And resources attract a very specific kind of interest, people drawn to what you have, not who you are. That's not a foundation. That's a setup. Let your success reveal itself the way it naturally should, through time, through conversation, through the life that slowly becomes visible the more she gets to know you. Lead first with your personality, your presence, the way you see the world. Money should add depth to who you are. It should never be the thing standing in for you. Mistake number 4, acting like a mentor. This one is sneaky, because it starts with good intentions. The older man shares wisdom, offers perspective, gives advice when she talks about something she's going through. He teaches, guides, explains, all while keeping his actual romantic interest tucked carefully out of sight, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal it. The problem is that perfect moment never comes. Because the moment you lock yourself into the role of teacher, you erase the spark. You remove the tension that makes attraction possible. And when you finally try to shift the energy towards something more personal and direct, it feels jarring, off, like the plot of a movie that suddenly changed genre without warning. Set the tone from the beginning. Be playful. Use light teasing. Let flirtation enter naturally and early. Your experience and wisdom are real assets, but attraction needs energy, contrast, and movement. It does not survive in a classroom. Mistake number 5. Trying too hard to look young. This one shows up in different ways, and none of them are subtle. The slang that doesn't quite land right. The outfit that belongs on someone 15 years younger. The references, the energy, the humor, all of it slightly borrowed from a version of yourself that doesn't quite fit anymore. And it never works, not once. Because trying to appear younger doesn't communicate youth. It communicates discomfort. It tells everyone in the room, and especially her, that you're not comfortable with where you actually are in life. That is the definition of insecurity. And insecurity, no matter what costume it wears, is visible. Real confidence is built from acceptance, not performance. Dress well, but dress like yourself. Stay physically sharp. Speak in your natural voice. Carry yourself like a man who has lived through something and came out the other side, knowing exactly who he is. That is your strength. Stop trying to hide it underneath an act. Mistake number 6. Over-talking about your achievements. Picture a first conversation that turns into a personal documentary. The career milestones, the company he built, the credentials on the wall, the deals he closed, all of it offered up like evidence in a case he's trying to win. And she sits there nodding, smiling, and slowly, quietly losing interest. Attraction is not built through a list. It's built through connection, through real presence, through the feeling that the other person is genuinely interested in you, not auditioning for you. Let your achievements surface naturally when the moment calls for them. Don't manufacture those moments. Don't force your resume into spaces where a real conversation was trying to grow. Instead, focus on her. Listen, actually listen, not just waiting for your turn to speak. A truly confident man doesn't need to prove his value constantly. He communicates it through the way he shows up, the way he pays attention, the way he makes the other person feel like they matter. Mistake number 7. Ignoring your physical presence. Here's something that's easy to forget. Experience is powerful, but it doesn't exist in isolation. The way you present yourself to the world still matters, and it matters more than most men over 40 want to admit. You don't need to look young. That's not the goal, and chasing it is its own kind of trap. But you do need to look intentional. Grooming that shows care. Clothes that actually fit your body. A baseline level of fitness that signals you still invest in yourself. These things speak before you do. They communicate discipline, self-respect, a man who hasn't given up on himself. Just because the decades have passed. When you take care of yourself, people feel it the moment you enter the room. When you don't, they feel that too. At the root of every single one of these mistakes is the same quiet problem. Not fully owning who you are. Younger women are not searching for a perfect man. They are drawn to a confident one, an authentic one. A man who is so grounded in himself that he doesn't need approval, doesn't need performance, and doesn't need to apologize for existing. So stop shrinking. Stop over-explaining. Stop trying to prove something that doesn't need proof. Start owning who you are completely, calmly, without apology. Because when you finally do that, it doesn't just shift the dynamic with women. It shifts everything. See you in the next one.